All right, if you've got curly hair, you already know the struggle is real. I mean, detangling can feel like an actual arm workout, right? So today we're gonna dig into a tool that so many people, and I mean so many, swear by, the wet brush. But does it actually live up to all that hype? Let's get into it. And seriously, the hype is everywhere. You see comments just like this one all over the internet. I mean, think about it. Going from these awful, painful detangling sessions to something totally smooth and pain-free, that's the dream. That's the whole reason we're talking about this right now.
Let's be real for a second. For so many of us, wash day isn't a spa day, it's a battle zone. It's literally you against this tangled mess of knots. And that shared frustration, that's exactly why something like the wet brush was even invented, to try and call a truce in that war. So, okay, what is this thing? What's the big deal? The wet brush basically promises to be the solution, you know? It's designed to just glide through tangles without all the drama. But how? What's the secret sauce?
Well, it all comes down to this one thing: IntelliFlex bristles. Basically, they're engineered to be super flexible. So instead of just attacking a knot and ripping right through it, they actually bend and flex around it, gently separating the hair strands, and that's the key. That's how it cuts down on all that painful tugging and, maybe most importantly, helps prevent a ton of breakage.
Okay, but here's the catch, and this is a big one. Just buying the brush isn't going to solve all your problems. Your technique is everything. There are 4, let's call them golden rules, that you absolutely have to follow if you want to get those amazing results and not, cause a bunch of damage.
And yeah, this is really the main takeaway right here. The brush is only half the battle. It's an amazing tool for sure, but it's not a magic wand. You gotta meet it halfway. It's like a partnership, right? Between you, your technique, and the brush. And getting that partnership right is what makes all the difference. All right, so these steps are non-negotiable. Seriously, first up, your hair has to be wet and full of conditioner. I'm gonna say it again. Do not use this on dry hair, ever. Second, you've gotta work in sections, and the tighter your curls, the smaller those sections need to be. Third, always start from the ends and work your way up to the roots. There are no shortcuts here. And finally, number 4, be gentle. You don't have to fight it. Just let those flexible bristles do the work for you.
So you follow all the rules. What actually happens? What can you expect? Let's get into the real-world results and see how this thing performs on different curl types, from, say, a looser 2C wave all the way to tight 4C coils.
All right, a good old pros and cons list always helps. In the pro column, we've got that it glides through wet hair, it's super gentle on the scalp, and it's nice and lightweight. But the cons are just as real. It's basically useless on dry hair, it definitely takes some patience and the right technique for 4C hair, and, this is a big one, it is not for heat styling. Don't use it with your blow dryer. Now, when you put it up against the classic wide-tooth comb, the difference is, well, it's pretty clear. With a wet brush, you get way less tugging. And you know how you can tell? Just look at how little hair is left in the brush when you're done. That's the real proof right there. A huge win for preventing breakage.
So, to wrap up the performance verdict, it's an absolute dream for anyone with 2C to 3C curls. If you've got 4C coils, it totally works. You just got to bring a little extra patience and stick to those small sections. But the biggest win for pretty much everyone? It can literally cut your detangling time in half. That's huge.
Okay, so this all leads to the million-dollar question, right? We know how it works, we know what it does, but is it actually worth it? Is it worth your money?
Well, get this, most of them cost less than 15 bucks. I mean, for a tool that's said to outperform the classics and can completely change your wash day from a nightmare to something manageable, that's a pretty amazing price.
And let's come back to this number for a second. 50%. A 50% reduction in detangling time. I mean, just think about that. What would you do with all that extra time every week? That, right there, is a massive part of its value.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, this isn't a tool you buy once and have forever. The general advice is to check the bristles for any bending around the 6-month mark, and you should probably plan on replacing it about once a year. That way you know you're always getting that gentle, effective performance.
I think this quote from HairBrushy.com just nails it. The wet brush isn't a magic wand, but it's a darn good tool when used right. It's not magic, it's just smart design. It's a fantastic tool that really shines when you pair it with good products and, you guessed it, the right technique. So, what's the bottom line? It's pretty clear. When you look at the price, the performance, and the time you get back, the wet brush is a solid buy.
A really solid buy for pretty much anyone out there fighting with tangled curls. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about, doesn't it? Is your best hair day locked behind finding the perfect tool or mastering the right technique? As we've seen today, the real magic happens when you bring them both together. It really makes you think, what other parts of our routine could be completely transformed just by pairing the right tool with the right method?